Hello, and welcome back to my playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. Last time we saved Mayrina, but she went off crying somewhere because she wanted Ethel to revive her dead husband. And when I did check the quest, I noticed that we found a wand with Connor's name on it that may be used to revive her husband. And it's called Bitter Divorce. And let's take a look at that. Has Connor scratched on the surface. So let's see if this brings us back to Mayrina and if the wand actually works. Okay, here she is. Well, let's talk.
I need a quick word.
Gods, didn't hear you coming. I know I should head home, but I can't bring myself to leave. The thought of putting him in a wheelbarrow and making the journey all over again.
I found a wand. I think I can resurrect your husband.
What? You can?
You feel a surge of power from the wand. The air suddenly tastes acrid. It wants to be used.
Bring him back! Bring Connor back! Please!
Do it.
What? What's happening? Why is he still dead?
You feel something pull at you. The creature yearns for a master.
What have you done to him?
So the hag fulfills her promise. It can never be simple, can it?
But this isn't what she promised! I wanted him back! Back the way he was! Not this!
You should have used Revivify. But this is your husband. Do you want him or not?
Connor? Connor! I don't even know if he's in there. But he might be. And if he is, I'll find him and bring him back.
Here's the wand. Good luck to you and Connor.
Thanks. But we'll need more than luck. A bloody miracle, more like it. I'll find a wizard or something. Maybe someone in Baldur's Gate can help us. Connor always said you can find anything in that city. Remember? And thank you, I guess. Come on, love. Let's go.
Using Ethel's wand wasn't the best idea.
Yeah.
No turning back time now.
Well, that's what she gets. Okay, where else? Ooh, is something over here?
Never wanted the easy path.
Surely this is safe, right? No damage so far. Where'd she walk off to? Everyone just vanishes, huh? There might be something over here. Let's check that out. We want to go this way. Hello.
Ah, stranger. Forgive the aroma.
You catch a waft of something foul, metallic, and sickly sweet.
Powdered iron vine. An old hunter's trick. Most monsters will think twice before making a meal of me.
You're a monster hunter. I'm surprised. I thought all Ger were vagrant cutthroats.
Pardon, but who or what is a Gur?
A mystical and dangerous people. We travel the land, never settling in one place. We steal your chickens, curse your crops, seduce your daughters. Your friend here has heard it all, I'm sure. Now, I wish I had half the power settled folk think my people possess. Alas, I am a simple wanderer. A simple wanderer and monster hunter. But I'm no witch doctor or cutthroat.
I assume you want to kill the hag?
Or to make a deal with her. Probably think you can outfox the old dear.
Right, but very wrong. My prey is a vampire spawn, much less impressive than the beast that lives here. His name is Astarion, but I fear he's gone to ground. I was hoping the hag of these lands could help me flush him out, but it seems she is no more.
And when you find this Astarion, you'll kill him?
Not this time. My orders are to capture him.
Oh. And bring him where exactly?
Baldur's Gate. My people wait for me there.
Only a spawn? Pity. Not like it's a real vampire.
I don't know. I'm sure a vampire spawn could still rip out your throat if he felt like it.
He is right, unfortunately. They are only weak when compared to their masters. During the day, we have the advantage, but at night, when they hunt, you'll not find a more deadly quarry.
Interesting. Astarion, what do you think?
That's Astarion. No. Impossible.
These days, I'm making the impossible look easy. May I?
Alright.
Excellent.
The vampire? It can't be.
Oh, I guess we fight. Huh? And I'm all the way in front of him. Can you bite him? Oh, we're low HP. This is iffy. What are you? You have high dex, strength, and wisdom. You have extra attack, Feller of Monsters, Scar Fury, a crit when your HP is lower than 40%. So I guess I want to take him from like a 50 to 0. So around 41 HP is when I should get worried. Movement speed is doubled. It can't be targeted by attacks of opportunities if its hit points are lower than 90. Wow. Okay. We'll see what you can do. You might be one shot. Low ground. Let's go a little higher.
Moving.
Go ahead and shoot through me. That's fine. Oh, I don't need that anymore. He might die actually from the fire. Unless... No, let's just throw. No, don't be on the low ground. Can I even be on the high ground actually? I don't think so.
Got it.
We'll throw. Yep.
Easy.
Okay. He's gonna be able to crit now. Unless I kill him this turn.
Got to focus. On I go.
I'm out of spell slots. 35, 40, 65. Ooh, what if I color spray? Nope, I can't reach. That'll do. Or not.
Survival is all that matters.
Yeah. All that matters. Let's give that a shot. So close. Blocked away. Maybe.
My faith will protect me.
hot in here.
Yeah, nothing else you can do. Body block.
Soldier.
Is there a bonus action attack? I can shove. For nothing. Okay. Maybe you want to hop out of here. Jump. Closer. And then we have range attack.
Well done, soldier. Solidarity keeps the troop together.
Let's hope it doesn't come back to bite me later.
Alright, you're welcome, Astarion. Let's talk.
Ah, my favorite traveling companion.
So there's a monster hunter after you?
Not anymore. Which is all that matters, really.
But why was he hunting you? What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I was kidnapped, just like you. It seems Cazador wants me back.
And who is Cazador exactly?
Cazador Zar is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate. The patriarch of his coven and a monster obsessed with power. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn. And he became my tormentor.
You're sure Cazador's behind this?
It was him, I'm sure. Only he would know to send the Gur after me. It was a group of Gur that attacked me that night in Baldur's Gate. I would have died had Cazador not appeared and saved me.
Saved you by turning you into a vampire slave?
Well, he didn't mention the slave clause at the time. And now he sends a Gur monster hunter for me. It's a message. He's reminding me of his power. Even in the middle of nowhere, he can reach me. And he wants me back.
How concerned should we be?
Concerned? Do you know the power a vampire lord possesses? He can change shape, turn into mist, call walls to do his bidding, shrug off blows like they're nothing. He could walk into our camp tonight and kill you with his bare hands. And you'd be lucky if death was the worst thing that happened to you.
Alright, what do you suggest?
First, we have to... I don't know. Well, if we kill his lackeys, he'll just send more. We just have to be vigilant, keep our wits about us, and kill any monster hunters on sight.
What do you make of Raphael's deal?
I won't lie. It's tempting. If I keep the tadpole, I risk transforming into a grotesque monster. If I lose the tadpole, Cazador has control of me, body and soul, and I return to the shadows. It's grim either way, so why not sell what's left of my soul to a devil? Better he has it than Cazador.
We have other options, better options.
Figuring out what's happening to us, confronting a god called the Absolute, and then finding time to kill my old master before he can control me once more? Yes, that's an option, but I wouldn't bet eternity on it.
Okay. Let's see what he has. Ooh. Gandril's Aspiration. Feller of Monsters, advantage against monstrosity types. And what is this? Sacred Munitions. Infuse your crossbow bolts with holy energy. Your ranged weapon attacks possibly inflict turn undead. That's interesting. I mean, it is a heavy crossbow. I don't think Shadowheart can use it. Well, we'll take it for now and find a use later. Maybe you? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, it might be time to take a long rest. I've been running on 0 spell slots for a while. And I think I finished exploring this area. So let's go up to the Risen Road. And long rest here. Actually, go to camp first. And Karlak, what do you have to say?
Hey, you.
You and Mizora seem to know each other. How?
We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted.
Do you think she'll keep coming after you?
I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride.
I can see why you were so keen to escape.
No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players.
Change the subject. Tell me again why you want to collect soul coins.
It's not that I want to collect them, per se. It's just that if we should happen upon them, I can use them in battle to fire up my engine. Evil's evil, but it can be put to good use. Sometimes. Maybe. Right?
Soul coins. Let's see. We have 5. Oh, they cost 500? I don't know about that.
Oh, hi.
Karlak, I'd love to be able to touch you properly.
Where would you start?
I take your hand in mine.
And put it somewhere interesting, I hope. God, we better find a way to cool me off soon. I'm not sure how much more of this I can take.
Alright. That'll hurt.
Feeling better.
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something?
Oh, this one again. Let's see if you say anything different.
Fine. What's on your mind?
How am I holding up?
How are you holding up? Don't be so modest. I can't remember the last time I met someone like you. Perhaps I never did. And never will again.
Okay. She says the same thing each time, but it still makes me feel good.
One day I'll catch a break.
Anything new, Astarion?
I suppose you want to hear about Cazador.
You said he was your master?
My old master. Before the Mind Flayers took me from him. Before this strange, twisted freedom. Cazador Zar is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate. The patriarch of his coven, and a monster obsessed with power. Not political power or military power, I mean power over people. The power to control them completely. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn, and he became my tormentor.
How were you turned? Did he attack you?
Not him, no. A gang of thugs attacked me, angry about a ruling that I'd handed down as magistrate. They beat me to death's door when Cazador appeared. He chased them off and offered to save me, to give me eternal life. Given that my choices were eternal life or bleed to death on the street, I took him up on the offer. It was only afterwards I realized just how long eternity could be.
You've been a slave ever since?
A vampire's spawn is less than a slave. They're a puppet. We have no choice but to obey our master's commands. They speak, and our bodies react. It's all part of the deal. Sometimes he'd order us to submit to torture. Sometimes he'd have us torture ourselves. Whatever his weather-vane mood settled on.
That sounds terrible. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. But this isn't about sympathy. It's about knowing what we might be up against. The Mind Flayers aren't the only monsters out there. They're not even the only ones hunting us. All I'm asking is that you keep your eyes open and watch out for anything lurking in the shadows.
I'll watch your back, don't worry.
What more could I ask? Now, is that all?
Yeah, that's all. Okay, Lae'zel.
Speak.
I'm breaking up with you.
One couldn't, and one shouldn't. Do as you like. The loss is not so much mine as yours.
No more sex? Got it.
You made it abundantly clear.
Have you thought about making use of the tadpole's power?
Mark my words. This power would be no blessing, but a curse. You might as well ask me to gouge out my eyes for the promise of sight, or slice off my tongue for the promise of taste. Consume all the gate tadpoles you wish. I'm not so craven.
But if we must bear the tadpole's burdens, we should also avail ourselves of their power. Ooh, 20.
Perhaps you... No, that's absurd. When the tadpole has stretched to every pore and slithered through every vein, what am I to do then? It won't hear my screams. It won't care if I beg. I will be remade in its image. My faith in Vlaakith will guide me, and my own might will sustain me. I have no need of this depraved power.
Depraved or not, you're no good to your queen dead. You need these talents. That's easier.
You might be right. The Githyanki have long studied Gaith and used what we've learned. The Zaithisk itself was devised from such knowledge. The tadpole is perhaps not just a curse, but a weapon I can twist and mold to my advantage. Very well. I will swallow my disgust and avail myself of the parasite's powers.
Okay. Now, let's see. Does Karlach... No, I still need to convince Karlach.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Helsin.
Oakfather's blessings to you.
I have to ask, how do you know so much about the parasite?
I studied one up close. Closer than most would care to be to those things. A drow attacked me and I defended myself. Afterwards, I was able to examine the tadpole that emerged. Hideous, but fascinating. Like nothing else in nature, I'm glad to say.
This shadow curse you spoke of, surely it can't be that bad.
It's had the whole region around Moonrise Towers in a chokehold of darkness and despair for years now. Those who remained are shadow cursed. If you don't die at their hands, then you become one of them. We have to get to Moonrise, but the less time we spend in its blighted surrounds, the better.
What about this secret stronghold in the Underdark? You must know more.
Precious little. But I'm quite certain it can still be found.
Seems like you feel responsible for this shadow curse somehow.
Well, there's hardly anyone left to share the responsibility with. Few who witnessed the fall of Moonrise still draw breath. What Ketheric Thorm unleashed is not something that nature can undo by itself. I must do what I can. I studied the shadow curse for years, but to truly understand it and stop it, I must reach its source.
Do you know how the shadow curse can be stopped?
Perhaps, but we'll need to get closer before I can put my theory into practice. Put it from your mind for now. Once we near the curse, then there will be more to be said.
At the celebration with the tieflings before, I hope I didn't come over too strong. Got caught up in the moment.
There are few things that are too strong for me. And cast those regrets aside, You did not get caught up in the moment. You seized it. In other circumstances, I would have done the same.
You'd have done the same?
Perhaps. But best to not dwell on nights past. There are plenty more yet to come.
How are you faring out here at the camp?
With such stimulating company? Never better.
You're still faring well at camp, I hope.
With such stimulating company? Never better.
Okay, so he repeats himself. Will.
A moment for the two of us.
Welcome to the League of the Lone Eye, my friend. Not to minimize the pain of Volo's poking and prodding, but I promise, you'll be used to the prosthesis in no time. Besides, I find it gives one an air of mystique. No one's more intriguing than a man with one eye.
What do you think of the illicit potential the Dream Visitor spoke of?
I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious, but once you've taken a lithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you.
Alright, let's move on.
All right. Anything more we should discuss?
Nope. I don't plan on using Will anyways, since he's also a charisma user.
What's on your mind?
I was wondering about that mighty lord you told me about in your story.
Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistril, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel. And with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistril sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistril, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly.
So at that moment in time, all magic was gone?
For a spell. Mistril was reborn as Mistra. Upon her return, the weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go.
If you ever feel the Netherese magic overtaking you, what will you do?
If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
Okay. Now I'm curious, what if we left him in the rock? Would he just explode the rock?
If not over, then through.
Maybe for another playthrough. Gretch?
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
Yep. Oh, that's it? I can't really pet him. Let's see if Karlach wants to eat a tadpole.
Oh, hi.
So, about our tadpole powers.
You really did it, huh? Not worried about adding more illithid into the mix? Well, what can I say? You look fine, smell fine, Seem fine. And yet, you're more mind flayer than ever. Hope you don't expect me to follow your lead in this.
I was hoping you might. The benefits seem to outweigh the costs.
Do they? I'm not sure either of us can say one way or the other. We don't know what the costs might be just yet.
We might be facing a cult more powerful than we know. We need all the help we can get.
How do you do that? Always making sense when I least want you to. Fine. I'll keep an open mind, all right? I can promise that much. Now, are we done here?
Open mind?
Come on, let's go.
It's open. There we go.
No one back home will ever believe this.
Alright, let's take our rest. I think we talked to everyone, unless Withers has conversation for me. Nope. Long rest. You have enough. Oh.
Hey, soldier. You said you might try cooling me down. Any leads?
Oh, I forgot that I should have talked to Damon before we left. But I think he's set off to Baldur's Gate. Maybe we'll find him later. Let me try something.
Yes!
Oh, no?
I'm waiting.
Alright. Cool you off, huh? Let's see. You have water in here? Just on you.
This is clever. Might even work. Come here. I'm dizzy. And you? Are you all right?
No permanent damage, and absolutely worth it.
I hope that's true. Because I'm hoping for seconds, thirds, and fourths once we find a way to cool off this engine.
Believe me, it's my top priority.
Mine too. Soon enough, you're going to be mine. But until then, I'll play nice. You have your fun with the others till then. I don't mind sharing, if I must. But keep a piece left over for me, hmm?
You can count on it.
I will then.
Alright. Astarion.
I have a lot on my mind.
Looking at something?
Just looking. What are you doing?
I'm looking too, but not seeing very much. Another quirk of my affliction.
Do you miss it? Seeing your own face?
Preening in the looking glass? Petty vanity? Of course I miss it. I've never even seen this face. Not since it grew fangs and my eyes turned red.
What color were they before?
I don't know. I can't remember. My face is just some dark shape in my past. Another thing I've lost.
Stare into his eyes, taking in every detail of his face.
What?
I'll be your mirror. What do you want to know?
I want to know what the world sees when it looks at me. What you see.
Strong, piercing eyes.
Oh. Go on.
That dangerous smile.
Very good. Now just tell me I'm beautiful and we can call it a day.
You're beautiful.
Observant. Mirrors aren't much use, but being reflected in someone else's eyes? Well, I could do worse.
Alright, good for you. Yale.
Even in such fraught times as these, there's peace to be found in the stillness as evening draws in. I used to while away many hours just like these with my companion, though in far comfier surrounds. She preferred it when we were alone, curled up before a crackling hearth with some ancient, esoteric tome between us. Ink glinting in the firelight.
Are you talking about your cat?
By a Gerorn's lost nose! No! Tara is not any cat. She's a Tressum. And given your confusion, I'm guessing you've never met one. They're brilliant creatures. Fine company for any self-respecting wizard. She'd be proud to see me keeping such fine company. The savior of those poor tieflings, no less. And I've given her precious little to be proud of recently. After I was afflicted with my condition, I locked myself in my tower for an entire year. I was inconsolable, wallowing in my self-inflicted tragedy. I'd given up on myself. But Tara never did. It was her encouragement, her research that led me to my treatment. Once we knew that magically infused items were the key, she went out to find them for me. She saved my life. She has a good heart. She'd recognize the same in your actions here. I'm sure she'd approve of me lending myself to your efforts.
She must be very smart to have done all that.
Smart does her a disservice. She's a fine wizard in her own right, though somewhat held back by her lack of opposable thumbs. You remind me of her somewhat. There's a steeliness in you, an unwavering tenacity, even in the face of, to be frank, quite dire odds. Wish you were here for me to make a formal introduction. But I would never ask her to undertake such a journey. She's safer at home. Besides, she was always telling me I needed to spread my wings, so to speak. Find mortal friends instead of hanging onto Mistra's coattails. So that's what I'm doing. I hope.
So I remind you of your pet. How romantic.
I assure you, were you to meet Tara, you would see the comparison for the flattery it is. But perhaps that's not a point worth laboring further. Suffice it to say, I think rather a lot of you. And there aren't many on this plane who I'd give such high praise.
I'm flattered. Is your good opinion so hard to come by?
One doesn't become the most powerful archmage in Waterdeep and lover to the goddess of magic herself by having low standards. I assure you, when I tell someone they're wonderful, I mean it. And you are wonderful.
The feeling's mutual. You're a wonderful friend, though usually more erudite.
Wine is to wit as meat is to... Oh, can't bloody remember it. There I go then, proving your point. Perhaps we'd better leave it at that. My ineloquent tongue isn't worthy of your ear at present. Go, enjoy your evening. Nothing better for the heart than a good night's rest. And mine is gladdened to know I'll have the pleasure of your company again come morning.
Okay. I think that's everyone who wants to talk. Let's get a rest. That's a lot. Can I get rid of some of these? Another 4? That's a 2. There we go.
I promised I'd be back. Don't worry. I have things under control. For now. I see you've been using the powers the tadpole gives you. Good. But things haven't gone as you expected. You hoped a druid as powerful as Halsin might be able to remove your tadpole, but he couldn't. You're desperate to be rid of it. Understandable. But you're looking for solutions in the wrong places.
So what should I be doing?
Your parasite is unusual. It is wrapped in magic that prevents its removal. Until the source of the tadpole's magic is destroyed, any attempt to remove it will kill you. You were lucky that Halsin knew this. His instincts are right. The parasites are merely a symptom of a greater sickness in Faerun.
How do I destroy the source of the tadpole's magic?
I am not sure yet. To find the answers, we must first find the source. These parasites are more than a lithid spawn. They are vessels for control. The infected hear the voice of the Absolute and believe it to be a god. You witnessed it yourself with Priestess Gut. That is how the cult of the Absolute is spreading. The highest of their rank, the True Souls, carry a tadpole just like yours. It is how they receive their orders. It is what makes them obey. When the order to transform is given, it will not be a matter of days. They will be mind flayers in an instant. Were it not for my protection, so would you.
So who are you?
It's complicated. But I'm an adventurer, just like you. Just like you, I was infected with a mind flayer parasite. Just like you, I seek to be free of it. I've been trying to escape from this evil for a long time. Once, I almost succeeded. Now, through you, I've been given a new chance. You can go where I cannot, and I can protect you from that evil. If we work together, we may turn this around. Hells, they need me. I have to go.
What's going on over there?
The power I used to protect you, I stole it from someone. They want it back. I will hold them off for as long as I can, but sooner or later I will be worn down. You must discover the source of the magic that controls the parasites before that happens. The cultists are gathering at Moonrise Towers. Use the powers your parasite gives you to convince them you are one of them. And when you find the source of their magic, destroy it. Go. Our freedom depends on it.
Alright. Scratch.
The dog pants through a ball held firmly in his mouth.
Distract him with one hand and slip the ball from his jaws with the other. Ooh. Alright, encourage him to drop the ball. Good.
He relinquishes the ball. It is well chewed and slick with drool. His eyes track the ball avidly. He shuffles on his paws, ready to chase after it.
At him?
Scratch's tongue lolls out happily, his tail wagging even faster.
Oh, can we play fetch? Throw. Here. We can. Do it again. Alright. I think that's good enough. So, let's see. Oh, you need to...
What's cooking?
No, I was actually thinking... Maybe I want to increase your strength. Is this not like I use the rest of your stats for anything good? Wisdom, charisma, dex. Yeah, I mean, we killed Ethel, so there's no real source to buy the Hill Giant Strength potions anymore. And I kind of want to give Astarion a Tavern Brawler as well. Because he kind of goes in close to bite, but I want him biting before archery. So let's swap them over. You can lowly walk over and get some strength.
Fate spins along as it should. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead?
Do you say the same thing each time? Alright.
As thou desire.
You are still barbarian. Let's get some of that strength back. Right here. You still want constitution. And then dexterity. I guess that helps with your AC. Is this okay? So if you get Tavern Brawler, you can get strength to 18. And then constitution 15? Maybe 16. Then instead of dexterity, maybe go with wisdom. Yeah. I guess you can keep these. You're bad at those. Okay. We can probably take the same level ups. You are Berserker. And you're a Tavern Brawler with strength. Okay. Alright. Now... Astarion. Let's turn you melee so you can actually use this without having to take an opportunity attack.
Fate spins. Dost thou require a new ally?
Change my class.
As thou desire.
Okay, so if I want you going melee and using Tavern Brawler, I would like Monk. Yeah, do some punching. And for stats, if you're Tavern Brawler, you don't need strength. I guess dexterity is still useful. I think they are mainly wisdom, right? Let's get some wisdom in here. 17? Sure, that's fine. And then I want dexterity so you don't get hit back when you go in. And constitution is always good. So Tavern Brawler can bring this up to 16. That gives you a bunch of AC. And then maybe there's a feat that gives you wisdom later. Okay. Acrobatics, stealth, and insight are what you're good at. You don't really do much talking, do you? Maybe just acrobatics and stealth? Yeah, you're pretty dexterous. I think that's good. Confirm. And monks have a key point, unarmored movement, patient defense, step of the wind dash, and disengage. Okay, for subclass, I looked into these three. I don't really care for Way of the Four Elements or Way of the Shadow, but this one, Way of the Open Hand, with the extra melee attacks, seem pretty good. And your feats, you can also take Tavern Brawler with Constitution instead. And the best thing about this, you can also extra attack now, instead of being one level behind everyone else. Great. And then I guess I can transfer these over to you now. You'll probably make better use of them. I'll save using it for later when I'm sure of what I want to do. Shadowheart. I also wanted to change her.
See what I can learn.
I initially got her to knowledge domain for slow, but this is concentration and so is Spirit Guardian, and I've been leaning towards this. Slow on paper is nice by affecting 6 enemies, but it's rarely active for 6 enemies because things are pretty well spread out in this game. And if they're already close enough to me, then Spirit Guardians can do the job pretty well.
Fate, spin.
Dost thou require a new as thou desire?
Yes, I want you to stay Cleric. And then I don't like Produce Flame anymore. On paper it is nice, it's kinda better than Sacred Flame, but not being able to see the hit chance without committing to making the flame is kinda not my playstyle. Alright, so first, I want Guidance. That's a sure thing. Sacred Flame is good, just for a different damage type cantrip. And then we have Resistance. I don't really want to use concentration for any of these. Blade Ward is not concentration. And Thaumaturgy. I don't recall using this a single time. Let's do Blade Ward, just for the off chance that I use it. And for my domain, I was thinking of doing Light, just for the Warding Flare, and having something to do with my reaction. I could not find a way to use my reaction in the Knowledge domain at all. I have the Light cantrip, that's good. Burning Hands and Fairy Fire, those are pretty good. Abilities, I kind of want to keep what I had before. I think it was no Charisma and a lot of Constitution. Do I need Strength? Hold on. Let's see. I want Wisdom for sure. I want some Dex. Constitution can be good for feat Resilient Constitution. If I go 16 here, I take Resilient Constitution. That brings it to an even number. And then Wisdom is just the odd one out. Or Maybe a couple strength, because I do use melee weapons. I think that's good. Ooh, you're really good at medicine. And history is okay. But I don't need you to be good at persuasion, because you won't be talking. That's fine. Confirm. Okay, you get Divinity, yes, Turn Undead, and Radiance of the Dawn. I'm sure this is going to be much more useful than the Knowledge. I think Knowledge of the Ages or something like that. I never used it at all. Okay. For spells. These are just prepared, not learned. I like Healing Word. Guiding Bolt. I guess it doesn't really matter what I take now. I'll switch them out eventually. And then we have Flaming Sphere and Scorching Ray. It's kind of like Sorcerer number 2 for my character, because we use the same types of spells. Okay, another cantrip. Resistance is iffy. Make a target more resistant to spell effects and conditions. Yeah, I don't even know when saving throws will come in handy. Maybe I'll just take Thaumaturgy for the heck of it. For my feat, I want Resilient Constitution for that concentration checks. We get Destroy Undead, level 3, Daylight, somehow I already know that, and Fireball. Well, what's better than one Fireball? Having another. Okay, and your spells. Let's actually clear some out. Guiding Bolt and Healing Word are the only ones I truly do want to keep forever, or almost forever. Spiritual Weapon is nice. And then I need aid. Well, I want aid. Spirit Guardians, that's a keep. And Mass Healing Word is great. I'm not sure about Glyph of Warding. It's pretty good. But is there anything else I like more? I can swap this in if I need it. Hold Person, maybe? I can do Silence. This is good against spellcasters if I ever come across one. And then, what else do I need? I only want Spirit Guardians to be concentration. Well, except Silence, because it's kind of like different use cases. And I think Sanctuary was the one, right? Yeah. Just don't use it on myself after Spirit Guardians, because that's a bad idea. And accept. Alright. I think we are good.
What now?
I don't really need to change anything for myself. You guys are fine. Alright, I'll probably do some inventory management and move some equipment away from people who don't use them anymore. Like you. Because you're just gonna be punching things now. But I'll call it a day here, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.